Go.
How's it going, everyone? I'm Coach Miguel. This is Coach Nacho. First and foremost, we hope all soccer families, not just at Houston Select, but across other clubs, are well and they're staying safe, right? We are, I think, in our fifth week, or fourth or fifth week, for our Facebook Live sessions. Coach Johan Arboleta is greatly missed. I'm here to take over the session today, so hopefully I do a good or better job than him. Okay, so that being said, we are going to repeat some of the stuff that we've done maybe 2 or 3 weeks ago. And the reason behind that methodology is because we here at Houston Select, we believe that we need to master certain techniques before introducing one. I'll give you an example. A lot of kids cannot pass the ball with their inside of the foot, so why introduce shooting if they can't do this yet? That's something that we believe in here. Taking steps before getting to more difficult techniques, okay? So that being said, we will start off with some ball mastery at the beginning, and then we'll introduce a directional touch. So again, all we need is 4 cones, right? Setting them 5 yards apart, okay? Coach Nacho here, our good volunteer, great player to help us out with everything for that, okay? I choose not to count the steps today because it can be quite a bit. All right, so once you make your square, making sure that that player is in the middle of the square, okay? So we're gonna start off with an L-turn shuffle, okay? So what we'll start off is shuffling the ball side to side, right? Okay? Most of our players will want to go super fast in this, but don't worry about that, right? We want to keep on, we want our players to take this kind of like as their rest, right? Okay? Making sure that they're rolling the, pushing the ball side to side with their big toe. Whenever I say go, you're going to do an L, stop it with the opposite foot. Go! Boom, boom, stop it. Then you face that way, right? Good shot. Make sure you do it with your right foot only. Left foot only? Yeah, right foot only. Go! Boom, boom. There you go. Good. There you go. Go! Notice how he's doing the L turn and rolling the ball past that left foot so it doesn't hit that left foot, okay? Go! We want to make sure that our players are having the ball on the right side of the body because we're doing it with our right foot at the moment before they do the L turn in order to make this easier and a lot more smoother. Good. Let's switch feet now, Coach Sancho. Go! So if you struggle with your weak foot, don't worry. All of us have at some point, right? And in order to do that, let's slow down a little bit more. Go! Good. Making sure you stop the ball. Good. Go! Good. A couple more. Go! Good. All right, and relax. Common mistakes that we'll see here, obviously I already hit on 2 of them, but I'll repeat them, is the speed of doing this. This doesn't matter, okay? This just looks like you have ants in your pants for some reason. That's what I feel, okay? It's silly. So I want you guys to be nice and relaxed here, okay? Second one is making sure that you roll the ball further back than what your plant foot is, okay? So if your plant foot's here, make sure you don't do this because then you can't do that, okay? You can't roll it to the other side. So make sure you go boom, boom, then you stop it with the opposite foot. Let me go back here, okay? Good. The last one that I will say is making sure that that ball is located in the correct place before we introduce the L turn, okay? So if I'm gonna do it with my right foot, there's no need for me to do an L turn from here when I'm doing it with my right foot. Now I'm just reaching across and creating a ruckus, okay? So I'm in here, right? Going nice and slow, having my knees bent, right? Once I feel comfortable and the ball is located on my right side, I L turn, stop it. Then I'm here. L turn, stop it. Good. Okay? Notice how I'm rotating my body as I'm going. Right? Once I L turn it, I turn my body, making sure I don't turn away from anything. There you go. Okay? So we'll let Coach Nacho go about 4 more reps, and then we'll let you guys go. Okay? Go ahead. Go! Good. There you go. 2 more. Go. Good. Last one. Go. Good. Okay. So now it's your turn. What I suggest for you guys to do is do about 8 to 10 reps on each side, with each foot, I mean. Okay? And then rest about 30 seconds in between switching feet. Right? So we'll give you guys about a minute and a half. Then we'll come back and we'll get you guys to do the next exercise, okay? 30 seconds, guys. And girls, if you have it in club. All right? Good. Good job for those that are following us over our live feed, okay? The second exercise we're going to introduce is a V-pull with the same foot, okay? We'll let Coach Nacho introduce it, going very slow, okay? Notice how he's rolling the ball towards that other foot, towards the same foot that he's pushing it with, and he's pushing it to an angle. Not in front of him, but to an angle. Pushing it every time, right? Okay, opening up his foot, right? Moving his hip backwards and pushing it at the same time, okay? Keep going a little bit more, okay? Once you start feeling a little bit more comfortable, you can start going a bit faster, maybe adding a slight hop to get a rhythm, right? But notice how the ball is being pushed out every time, right? Here, what helps us with this square is having these two cones as reference to where our touches are going to go. So this cone will be to the right side, this one to the left side, pushing it to an angle, okay? Right? We like to use this move because it introduces using the inside of our foot technique, which is something that we're going to work on today. Notice how his foot is not opened up all the way, but it's slightly angled, right? To be able to take that touch diagonally, okay? Not opened all the way, but slightly angled, okay? So we like to do this here. Let me see Coach Johnson, good job. Okay? We like to do this move because there's a lot of good players that have used this. I can name a few. Iniesta, Busquets, right? Players coming, right? The reason why we want to push it out is to go away from them, right? Now, if I don't push it out, right? Look what happens. Ball is on top of me. Defender can obviously poke it away, right? Okay? So, you see it? Obviously, that's the first common mistake. Anyone can be here and just do this, okay? Anyone can be there. So what we want you to do is notice the position of my inside of my foot. It's not all the way open. It's not going to be like a pass. It's going to be slightly angled so it can be pushed to an angle. So once I roll it, push it to an angle. Roll it, push it to an angle. My foot is slightly angled, right? Not all the way open, slightly angled, so I push it to an angle, okay? Push it away. Push it away. Notice how my hip is moving outwards and comes in. Kind of like we want to cushion the ball, or we want to receive it with our back foot in a way. Okay? Once we get comfortable, then I push it out every time. Push it out every time. So we'll let Coach Nacho show us this for about 30 seconds. You think we have enough? I think so. Okay? 30 seconds, and then it's going to be y'all's turn, okay? Good. Making sure you push the ball out all the way. Maybe adding a little bit more, picking up that foot to act like you're going to shoot every time. Pick up that foot, good. A little shooting motion, maybe a little arm motion. Push it out a little bit more, a little bit more. Good. Good. It's really good, Coach Nacho. Oi. Sure that ball is not too far. Okay? Moving that hip backwards, opening up that foot. Not all the way, but at an angle so we can push it to an angle. Okay? Oi. Okay? One like that. See, as you can tell, Coach Nacho is a very fit individual, right? And yeah, it takes a lot of work, okay? So we'll let you guys go about, like I said, like last time, about 30, 45 seconds. Take a break, do it again, do that 2 times. We come back and we got the third exercise for you guys, okay? About 30 seconds, guys. Good. All right, good job for those that are doing the exercise. So as we were sitting and kind of planning this out, Coach Nacho had a little challenge for us, which kind of relates to what we did today, right? We're gonna combine two of these moves, right? And this is actually a move that you can use in a game. I've actually used it. I'm sure Coach Nacho has, and I'm sure Coach Mario that's behind the camera, like 40 years ago, he probably used it, okay? Right? Throwing some shade there, okay? So this is what it's gonna be. It's gonna consist of a V pull and an L turn, okay? We'll let Coach Nacho show it. V pull with the opposite foot, guys. Okay, go ahead. Boom, boom, push it out, good. Boom, keep going, keep going. Notice how he's doing the L turn like we were practicing earlier, and now he's doing a V pull with the opposite foot. Notice when he does the V pull with the opposite foot, which we have been going over, I think about 2 weeks ago, is the position of his foot when he does the V pull. His foot is slightly twisted in, kind of looks penguin-like, okay? Right? Pitched in, so he can take that touch and be more comfortable. That's kind of the way that we introduce the dribbling technique here at Houston Select, right? So we can push it out to an angle, okay? All right, now let's see if we can switch feet and do it the same way with the left foot. Go ahead. Good. Not bad. All right, relax. Okay. Not bad, Coach Nacho. So with your weak foot, obviously, the advice that I would give you is going a bit slower. But even if you're doing it with your strong foot, right, it is very hard still, I think so, right? It can be challenging for some players. Obviously, making sure that that ball is slightly pushed back so we can push it in an angle. What helps me do this a little bit easier is if you're facing forward, your hips are facing like just straight forward, you're gonna do an L turn that's gonna be here, right? And you're gonna have to be reaching here. So what I do is I slightly hitch to the side that I'm not going to. So to the opposite side. So if I'm going left, I turn my body a little bit to an angle, maybe a step back and a step forward with my left foot. Notice how I'm facing this way. Can you get that, Coach Mario? Facing the opposite way. So now when I do the L turn, the ball is going forward instead of to the side and backwards, all right? Okay, so I'm here, okay? L turn, roll it backwards as soon as you grab it, right? To do the V pull. Push my foot in at an angle, L turn, roll it backwards, push it out. L turn, roll it to the back, to the other foot, push your toes out, boom. L turn, boom, boom. Nice and smooth, right? Okay, now if I want to go with my left foot, right? Now we hitch out towards the left, right? So when I'm here, now I grab it. Notice how the ball is always going forward versus going backwards if I'm facing completely straight, okay? So I hitch in a little bit, boom. It's a little combination, kind of like a little dance move. It can get tiring, right? So you get messed up, okay? So now, we'll let Coach Nacho show us 4 fast reps, or 2 fast reps on each side. Then we'll let you guys try this because this is very hard. Okay? Go ahead. Push it out. Good. 1 more, or 2 more with the left. Good. Not too far. 1 more. Let's go 1 more. Clean one. Clean one. You got this. Okay, and relax, okay? So again, I want to repeat something that we have been trying to do in the past few weeks with these sessions. We want to see also if, for stuff like this, if some of our players can tape themselves and put it on the group, right? So we can see the improvements of some of our players, especially now that we're repeating certain moves and certain exercises. We want to see the improvement in our players. Right? It's kind of hard for us to, if parents want to target us to see the improvement without seeing like physical proof. So we would like for some of our players, if they have time, to film themselves doing this, okay? That would be greatly appreciated. So that being said, we'll let you guys try this out for about a minute and a half, right? Okay, and then we will go back. We'll come back and close it out with the last and second phase of the session, okay? on 30 seconds. Good on time. Good. All right, good job, players. So now we are going to add something that we did last week, which was passing and receiving, right? Last week we worked on cushioning the ball, opening up our hips of the ball, so our first touch is out in front of us, and we don't have to completely stop what we're doing. Okay? So today I would reintroduce like the setup of what we had last week. But it's slightly different, so we can be able to work on this. I call it a directional touch away from your body. Basically receiving with one foot and playing with the other. So the setup will be that you'll just make a triangle. You have one cone. That this is where the player will go. One cone here. Then you at an angle walk. 1, 2, 3, 4 steps. 4 steps. Okay. At an angle here. 1, 2, 3. 4 steps. Cool. Right? Coach Nacho will now place himself in the middle or kind of slightly to the middle of the triangle, right? Right? So you guys notice how, because it's a triangle, there's 2 openings, right? Okay? So if I play Coach Nacho on the right side, my left opening, right? He's going to take his touch across with his right, and then play with his left foot to me, okay? So Coach Nacho, I would suggest that you have a better angle towards your right. There you go, okay? So I'll play Coach Nacho, right? He'll take his touch across, he'll look up in the process, pass it to me. So now I'm here, right? Coach Nacho's back in here. He's on his toes, not like ants in his pants, right? He takes a touch, adjusts, boom, looks up, make sure you look up, right? Good. Now I play him, good. Takes a touch, good. Boom. So this is the way that we would do it if someone in your household is able to pass the ball back and forth with you. If that's not possible, then you would just have your parent be on their knees, right? On one knee, okay? Have the ball in your hand, just roll it. Now you just execute the same thing. Boom. Okay, now move, right? Now time to come. Boom. Boom. Okay? Come over here, Coach Nacho. Okay? Can you bring those big toes as well? Actually, leave them. After. So if we are in a space where we just have a wall, you'll probably need, you'll use all 3 cones. Okay? Okay? Coach Nacho, could you show us what it would look like? So you pass it on one side, right? Whatever side it bounces from, takes it across, plays it. Good? Takes it across, and plays it. Good. Okay? So those are the 3 ways that you could do it depending on your circumstances, okay? Right, so now let's talk about the touch. Coach Mario, can you walk over here with us? Right, so we can see this? Is that possible? Yeah. No, with the phone. Okay. Ready? Right, so the common thing that most players will do here in this type of sort of touch, it's a directional touch, right? So first of all, since we have a triangle, right? Think about this cone right here. The furthest cone in the middle is going to represent the defender, right? So the distance between you and the defender matters a lot. So if I'm here, right? Coach Nacho plays me a pass. It's too close to him, right? Okay? So I want to have some distance between him and myself. I want to be me, myself. I don't know geometry or anything, right? I don't know anything about angles. But I know the feel of what it would feel like to take a better touch that way. And where I should be positioned. So if I'm here, kind of towards the end, boom, it's more comfortable, then I can play on the other side. Notice the spacing that I have between that and that cone. Okay? Second, in order to take this touch, most players will do this. Okay? That is square to your body, right? We don't want that first touch to go square to your body. We want that first touch to go diagonal, and then for me to be clean and still be facing forward. I don't want to be passing the ball to the side like that. So in order to do that, right, instead of opening of my foot and cushioning it, right? Again, like we were stating, right? Hold on. Like we were stating when we were doing the V pull, I slightly angle my foot. That's taking that touch that way. So if I'm going to pass the ball with my left foot, I'm going to take my touch with my right foot. Notice how my foot's going to be positioned. Slightly angled that way. Not here, but here. Okay? Off the ground, angled to the left side of my body. Okay? So Coach Nacho plays me. Look at my foot. Slightly angled, still facing forward. If Coach Nacho plays me on the left side, right? Slightly angled, bend my knees a little bit. There. Right? Go ahead. Slightly angled, right? Just shuffle my feet. I don't want players, if players take a semi-heavy touch instead of, right, doing this and then coming across it, the way to fix that is to, once you take that touch, shuffle your feet so you're facing your destination, okay? Right? This touch is really important to soccer, right? And I'll show you why. Because you can beat a defender without doing any move. So coach, I'll have to come a little closer, right? And then once I ask for the ball, pressure me, okay? Go ahead. This is what it's gonna look like. I take it across, and then I'm done, okay? Hello and goodbye, okay? So what we suggest is, I do this a lot with a lot of players that I train, and what I usually do in this situation, I do this for about 10, 15 minutes, right? Because it's such an important touch in soccer. As important, I think so, as opening up your hips so you can see the whole field. This is really important, especially when people players are pressuring you, and you can get out of pressure easily without stopping the ball. Okay? Alright, so we're gonna let you guys go for about 1.5 minutes to 2 minutes, and then we'll be back to close it up, okay? You see what I'm saying? You see what I'm saying? It's so funny. You don't notice when you start going through it, man. Players that don't, and you can just, because you don't have the angles. Yeah, exactly, man. Yeah. 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 I do this. All right, good job, players. Again, thank you for those that tuned into our live feed. I want everyone to give a big thanks to Coach Nacho. I know we can hear you guys, right? Okay. And I'll end with this. We really hope that all the soccer families around the Houston area are safe, right? And aside from that, this is scary times, and obviously we can't wait to get back on the field and be able to train our players so we can compete again, right? But this is kind of a blessing in disguise for a soccer perspective for young players, right? At least from our players or anyone that's playing soccer, this is the time to fall in love with this, right? So if you can do at least 30 to 45 minutes every day of touching this ball, trust me, you are going to get better, right? You are definitely going to get better. So I challenge all of our players and even those other players from different clubs that are tuning in to fall in love with this, right? The rest of the agility stuff and all that stuff, you can learn later, right? But this is a big reason why players at the top level are good, because they're good at manipulating this. So I encourage you guys to fall in love with this in this time, okay? Be safe. Thank you again, right? See you guys next week.